All right, guys, welcome back. EYL, we got a special episode. We're going to be talking about the most essential thing in this world, which is water.
That's a fact, man.
Can't survive without water. You can survive without food for a certain period of time, but it's going to be difficult.
Your body needs water. The world needs water. 70% of the planet is water.
For sure.
It's an essential necessity.
For sure. Brad Simmons and Terrence Walker, they have a company called LiveAlkalineNC Water. This is actually it right here.
Yeah.
If you can see. Glass bottle.
Be the glass.
For sure. So we're gonna be talking about it. You know, it's an interesting journey as far as InvestFest. You guys were the water sponsor for VIP night this year.
Yes, sir.
Vitally, that was important.
Yes, sir.
Important.
Man, look, we gonna talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
But nah, that was an honor. We grateful to even be brought into the fold. Cause originally, matter of fact, I ran into y'all in Charlotte. Y'all did the event in Charlotte.
And that's where y'all from. Y'all from Charlotte, right?
We're from North Carolina. We're from down East Carolina, kind of close to Wilmington.
We from Wilmington?
Onslow County.
Okay.
And I ended up at A&T, and that's how I ended up start playing the field in that region. So Charlotte only an hour away, hour and a half away. So when I found out y'all was coming, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Pull right up, pocket full of business cards, got me a couple waters in the tuck just in case I get to y'all. And I ended up connecting with y'all. Y'all was getting up out of there at the end. And I just stopped you real quick. Yo, we got the water. We trying to be the water sponsor. And we just trying to connect and see how we can bring our resource and value to the InvestFest. And then that next Monday, Market Mondays or something, y'all, you know, doing y'all thing. And then you get to everybody, the event in Charlotte was great and all of that. We was making good connections and all that, but certain people that was coming a little, you know, sideways, a little aggressive. But there was this one brother. He came with the water, with an offering, and bringing value. And that's how y'all need to move. I was like, oh, that's me. You talking about me. Okay. Respect. And a lot of what we've been doing has been like trial and error. We haven't necessarily seen no one build no multi-million-dollar corporation. So we just be following the soul. That's our nonprofit soul society, but it's really the lifestyle. We follow the soul. So that connection and to wrap that up, I'm sending the emails. I ended up getting the Zoom that year with one of the representatives, and it was an astronomical number that they asked for us. And it was like, you can pay. And then I'm like, and give the water away? I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna make it this time. But I ended up coming just to be a participant. Matter of fact, I got locked in with Keys to do his VIP experience and whatnot.
Okay.
And ultimately, fast forward, the next year, I was still, this past year, I was still thinking about that astronomical number that I wasn't gonna have, you feel me? And it took a little bit of time, but whatever time the stars aligned, I came up on your website and I seen the email. I'm like, all right, let me just shoot the shot again, see what it do. I'll shoot my shot, you feel me? And next thing I know, they was like, look, we in there. No astronomical number, just bring the water.
Need it.
And I'm like, we got the water, easy money. And this the last thing. By the time I talked to, that was probably the brother AB, and they were saying like, okay, we need about 2,000 bottles of water. I'm like, we got that, easy. Got off the phone, started calculating. Ooh, okay, that's how much? Okay. Nonetheless, we not stopping. And then as we was trying to get what we needed to fulfill that 2,000 bottles and all of that, it was getting close, and we was like, I don't know how we gonna do it, you feel me? And I put a couple call to actions out to our audience, but then the last one, matter of fact, I know the people that watch the pod know about Net 30. So in Net 30s, you get a chance to get your product with 30 days to pay. So I'm lining up everything to get the bottles and everything lined up, and they told me I had 30 days to pay. But then it was coming up like 2 days out, like, oh, nah, you actually don't. It ain't all the way situated. You got to pay what you thought you had 30 days to pay. You got to pay that in like 2 days. I ain't know how I was going to do it, but I put the call to action out there. I'm telling you, I put a call to action. I made it plain and straight vulnerable. And within an hour, I had like $600 in our crowdfund campaign. by the end of the day, we had like 800. And by the end of about 3 days, we raised like $1,500. And that is what made sure we could fulfill the duties. And y'all would never know, you know, it just everything happened smooth and presented smooth. And it was a great experience, you know, but it was a great journey that, you know, we had to build some thicker skin and big it up real quick. So
yeah, much appreciated. Yeah. It was definitely a warm night.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, and so I was actually under the weather, so the only thing I did have was your water. And I was like, this is it. I can't do anything else. But, you know, a lot of times people underestimate that, especially when you're having a good time and then you obviously have alcohol. They forget the most important component is this.
Yeah.
It's something that he always walks around with like a bottle of water just in case. And it was like, as I got older, I understood, like, I gotta hydrate. Most people don't even realize that. Even when you're drinking water, sometimes you still can be dehydrated.
Yeah. Sure.
So this is going to be a powerful episode because I'm starting to learn a lot more about just my personal body, how it reacts, and the impact that water has on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then
listen. Oh, no, go ahead.
Also, I wanted to just piggyback on that because it is a good story as far as how to network properly. And the reason why that was perfect timing when you came up to me was because that year before we ran out of water. And it was like 100 degrees. It was a heat wave. So it was super hot. And that was a major like issue where we didn't have enough water. So going into the next year VIP night, that was one of the main things. We like, we got to make sure we have enough water.
For sure.
So when you came and you like, yo, I got the water, the value, you had a value add, it made sense. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's a perfect alignment of what we actually needed. So for people out there that's looking to network, you didn't even know that, but I'm just saying, like, see where you can add value. That's why I always say, see where you can add value, right? And don't necessarily make it about you. Like the law of reciprocity, you're gonna get your blessings later on. But it's like you came and you had a value add offer that made sense and we needed it. And now we're here.
For sure. Nah, that's love.
We got a chance to see how much it was needed because we pulled up to the VIP night and you know, we were looking for where the water was placed and we didn't see a place. So we were like, all right. And then somebody was like, they got to go to the bar and ask for it. So we like, all right, you know, and nobody's going to the bar and asking for water because it's open bar. Everybody getting lit. So we like, all right, we gonna figure this out. And Bessie from Coco's Cookies, you know, she was one of y'all sponsors. That's the home girl. She from Carolina. She was there and she had a booth set up. And we were like, okay, so how we gonna make sure people get this water? Cause they drinking, they ain't gonna ask for it. So bro was like, I think we about to go get the water and just start passing it out.
Nah, look, so I hit my couple points of contact, like, we don't really see the presence and activation in here. They like, nah, it's cool. We gonna get it together. Next thing I know, I seen like 3 girls taking handfuls of water, and I'm like, they must be going to the green room or something like that. So I fall right in line and follow them. Next thing I know, I see where we had all the water when we had brought it and loaded it in the day before. And that joint was still stacked up. And I'm like, the event coming close to an end. I'm like, ain't no way we leaving here without people getting this water and knowing we was here. And I just went back to the bar and like,
I get a phone call and bro, like, meet me at the front door right now. I'm like, all right, bet.
After me being backstage for 45 minutes and whatnot, I'm getting like the bartender, I'm the water sponsor, got the water shirt on. Let me get one of those boxes. Like, all right, sure. And I couldn't even get nowhere. I'm passing out the water. Like, oh, thank you. I needed it. So it was so many people that were appreciative of that water. It was so many people that was like lifted by that water that night, you know. So I know they felt the presence. We already giving good love and energy. So by the time I flooded the backstage, look, when I first went back there, it was real scarce. By the time I left, it was live alkaline water all through the backstage.
Fact.
And I got to the front, and we flooded the front area too, and ran through all that stack of water, and the people really received it and appreciated it and needed it.
Definitely needed.
That's fine. So how did we get here? You guys have a family water supply?
Yeah, so
like, how does this happen?
We in connection with the family. So foundation is 2015. Me and my brother started our organization, Soul Society. Initially, the idea was Soul Academy because as I evolved, I realized the importance of the education system. When I left high school and went to college at A&T, and I was going for computer technology, but matter of fact, in high school, we'll do the career analysis test, and they will spit out all your recommended jobs. I just scroll down to the end at the salary. So I see technology is a good bubbling field, and you can maybe get an entry at 100K or something like that. But I had that first semester in college, I had like 3 computer classes, and I realized I was not about to be at no computer desk for the next 20, 30 years. But I had this African-American experience class, and it taught me all these deeper parts about our history and who we are, what we overcame, who we were before we were colonized, before we were enslaved. And I started to see more worth and value in myself during the time I was going through a depression, not seeing no worth and value in myself. So I realized how that empowered me. And then that second semester, I had a sociology class and another class that I had to read, The Miseducation of a Negro. And at that point, I realized this is by design. Our conditions are by design. And I can't just free myself of these conditions and not turn back, you know? And another part of that depression was wanting to go back. But I realized I can't go back in time, but I can reach back and put the younger kids on the information that I wish I would have had when I was younger. But so it started at Soul Academy as the organization. And that evolved to Soul Society, the deeper we learn about knowledge of self and the fact that we need our own community for these kids to dwell in. And then fast forward from 2015 to 2020, of us 5 years pushing the idea of one day we gonna have some land. In 2020, it was like, we need that now. And I promise you, when the mentality shifted from one day to we need it now, in like a month, we found ourselves on this land. Because I just started to reach out to my network, post on Facebook, who the local farmers? All the essentials being brought off the shelves. You could have $1 million at that point in time and might not be able to buy no good, clean water at the time. So I just started to reach out to who the local farmers. So it's not just about us getting our own one day. It was about who has it now that we can help and learn from. So we made the connection. I went to the land. We did the tour. I tried the water for the first time, and it was like, I promise you. And
This is spring water?
This is spring water.
Okay.
So right outside of Winston-Salem in Yadkinville, it's a little town called Yadkinville. And this is an indigenous family, Black indigenous family. So they got records of having the land for over 400 years. So it's like straight sacred land, rich crystal mineral-based land. So it's naturally mineralizing and alkaline in the water. So from there, I took a couple months to study and figure out how to express the value of the water. And by the time it was like, I had like $7 in my name. Matter of fact, I just hit a win maybe a month before just dealing with the stock options for the first time. I took that first pandemic check.
Yeah.
I put paid some bills, and the rest I put on some stocks and a couple options. And I was about to cash out my portfolio. And I was like, all right, I just bought some food for the crib, got a roof over my head, got some gas. I don't need to like panic right immediately. And I promise you that next day after I was about to cash out my whole portfolio, my stock was up like 800%, you know? And then that next day it was up like 1,000. And I probably made like 2,500 off the stock options that week. So that bought me like another month. Fast forward, I'm back down to a few dollars in my name. And I spent some of my last money on gas, food, and I took some of that gas and went to the land to just give my labor. I ain't asked what I'm gonna get, I just went and helped them. They had 2,000 gallon orders that week. I just helped package up, load up, and by that second day, they gave me 20 gallons. And I'm on the way home thinking I got something, like how I'm gonna get these 20 gallons off. By the time I got home, I took a couple news clips we had from being the first Black-owned water company to get into the Walmarts. And I reposted them joints. Them 20 gallons were sold in like an hour.
All right, so hold on real quick, because the family that's on the land, are they processing this mineral water?
Yeah. We got the bottling on the land, but then like 20 minutes from the land, we got like a mass production factory.
Got you. So
Yeah.
when you got there, you saw that this was there.
Right.
Yeah.
And you asked how can I help be a part of it?
Right.
Got you.
So your partners with them.
Yeah.
They had the water up and running already.
Yes. Yeah.
And you came in, you said like, I want to help out, I want to add value.
Yep.
Yeah.
And initially as well, me and him, we got our entity Heavy Energy. So we was coming with the water under that umbrella. But it was like the certain processing that it was taking, it was like, I need to jump off now.
All right, so y'all had a water situation.
Nah, we had an idea to come up
idea.
with our own
We
water.
actually, well, before that, we weren't, when we were looking for the land,
Yeah.
we had no idea or vision of water. We were just thinking land, somewhere where you can farm,
you.
somewhere where you can teach young people to be self-sustaining, because as adults, you sometimes got so many more responsibilities that you don't have that time to put in. Get to the land, there's water. Wasn't even thinking of water. Water appeared. And it was like, oh, this is a whole nother lane. And we began plotting and planning on how we was going to do this, and that. And it's like, we don't got time to really try to make it perfect. But we got time to make it happen right now.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to get it started right now. And man, it was so crazy because like he said, he came back with those 20 gallons, got those things off. And in that process, I think we were getting ready to move into a whole nother place. So who was it? I think Black Dot had shouted the water out on his podcast or something like that.
Well, Blue Pill did first, and that's how Black Dot found out about it.
Yeah.
So once Black Dot, I had literally, so I built our website because before that, I'm a hip hop artist as well. So before I went on tour, I didn't have money to pay nobody to build the website. So I had to figure it out myself. I just built the site. So we already had a site up. So once I realized, like, all right, these orders about to go crazy, we need to at least go ahead and have somewhere where we ain't trying to contact and communicate with people through the DMs, because they was killing my man in the DMs trying to get the water. And so I'm over here trying to figure out the shipping, he communicating with people. I'm like, all right, let's get this site up. Thank God we got the site up, because by the time it got the Blue Pill and then the Black Dot, we in the middle of moving. And all I know is my man over here on the phone real heavy. I'm like, bro, we got boxes that need to be moved in. But the orders coming in so crazy that bro just locked in like, yo, and communicating with this person and sending them to the site. So it just went crazy from there. You know, not even thinking about the water. But the thing for me was that proper preparation prevents poor performance. We had the site up. We were ready. So we had a space to be able to send people and capture all that. And it was still a little overwhelming. But if we didn't have that particular thing already in place, it would.
So did the family, the family that owns the land, right? Did they have the brand already?
Yeah.
They had the live Alkaline Water brand.
Right.
It just needed more promotion.
Yeah, it needed some young legs
needed
behind
some-
it. It was like
some
a
charge. It
not
needed-
an elder, but he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
He built the foundation, and he constantly working on the actual land. So all the ambassadorship, running around, traveling,
The scale-
promoting,
the
the
scale.
legwork.
Yeah, we were already used to doing that because right before the pandemic, before we got to the water, I was in the middle of a tour, a sold out tour at that. So we were already traveling the country while we were doing music. We had a program.
What's his name?
Chief.
Yeah, Chief Robert McCray.
So how do you approach him? Like, how does that work? Like, how do you approach him and say, look, I want to be a partner. I think I can add value. And what made him buy into that?
He just gave his time.
So like I said, initially I made the connection, and he was kind of opening it up to some opportunity for some of the youth. And he went through a few iterations of young groups coming through. But ultimately, like I said, when I came back and just dedicated them 2 days, they gave me the 20 gallons and seeing how fast it moved. And by the time, like I said, them 20 gallons were sold an hour away from that first post.
He saw the work.
By the time I got back to the land, I'm like, however much water I can fit in this car, little black Toyota Corolla, I need it. And we got 80 gallons in there. They were sold in 3 days, and the rest was history. So you just seen the work and the results.
Once the plug got the work off.
That's why I said you got the work. You came back. I need to re-up.
I need everything I can fit.
Yeah. So I mean, how is Chief, and we just gonna call him Chief now. How is Chief? The first time you come back, like what's his reaction, right? Because he's looking at it like, you know, this thing's kind of moved slow. Here come y'all with this marketing plan, this grit, this hustle.
Yeah.
You move that work quick. You need to re-up. How is he reacting to this?
Well, to put respect on it, he was doing well for himself. But when it comes to community building and nation building, it's way more untapped potential, you know? So I was dealing with one of his partners that he had connected me with to run through. And from there, it just went from connecting with him to like, directly connect with me. And from there, we just continued to build week in, week out. Like, we about action. So it's like our work, our energy always speak for itself. So it just been an evolving relationship. The further we got into our grind, the more results we brought back, the more leeway. Like, we got hundreds of acres that at this point he like do y'all. You feel me?
It wasn't a matter of trying to sell ourselves. It was a matter of action. When you see it, you don't got to try to believe it. You know it.
Yeah.
So break this down. What's the science behind this alkaline? There's spring water, there's tap water, there's alkaline water. I hear everybody's got their own opinion about what's the best, what's not good for you. So this is alkaline water.
Yeah.
Explain the different variations of water.
Yeah, so generally speaking, even more important than it being alkaline water is the fact that it's coming from a living source. So you got a lot of alkaline waters that a lot of times is tap water that they run through an artificial induced process to make it alkaline. This is from a natural living spring with rich crystal mineral based land. So it's got that life source in it, packed with living minerals versus synthetic or induced or brought in minerals. You know, you can't beat God's very own. So like I said, the first thing is from a living source. So it's life in the bottle. And then the second thing, far as alkalinity goes, for those who don't know, is based on the pH scale. So 7 is neutral. Anything under 7 is acidic. Above 7 is alkaline. And at first I assumed the higher the alkalinity, the better. But I come to find out that you can get it too high. Our bodies usually resonate around 7, 7.1, 7.2. So you want something that's kind of close to your body levels. So a lot of these waters you see in stores, 9, 9.5 and all of that,
Not good.
it's too high. And that's usually a indicator that it's artificially induced. So ours resonates around 7.5, which is a good equalizer for your body.
What's the difference between alkaline and spring water? Because spring is from a natural source too. It's from a spring, right?
Yeah. So any water source, the alkalinity or the acidity is based on the pH. So a well could be alkaline, it could be acidic. A spring could be alkaline, it could be acidic. The spring, though, the thing that's great about the spring is it's a moving water source. So it's got that kinetic energy. It's got that energetic flow, that electricity in it. You know, versus wells can be good depending on the quality of the land and the water, but it's still
water,
the spring is moving. So it's got that electric energy in it.
When you said that the pH, if the pH is too high in the alkaline water, what are the effects? Because I was noticing there, I'll drink some alkaline water and I've got to go to the bathroom all the time. It's like, there's no point in even drinking it. This is which I realized was making me dehydrated.
Yeah.
Because I would drink the water and
I retain it.
my body wouldn't retain it. Then I'll drink other water and it's not the same effect. I'm actually retaining the water. I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
Is it because the pH level was too high? Is that one of the effects?
Part of it is it being too high. Batteries are alkaline, you know, so I mean, you know, you just electric shocking your body. So think of, you know, what happened. Now it's got to expel, you know, what's not meant to be there, whether it's the false minerals, whether it's the pH being too high. Because, I mean, it's good for your hair, your skin, your eyes, right? But once you get too high, same way with acidity, it begins to eat those things up. It begins to go backwards. So your body is naturally going to begin to reject what isn't needed, what isn't supposed to be there. It's going to fight. So it's going to force you to get it up out of there.
Yeah.
But some of it is going to still stay. It's just going to eat up your insides. It's going to eat up your organs over time. So when you see something that's alkaline 9.5, I would leave it on the table. I'm going to anyway because we got live.
Yeah.
But that's why it's called live, because it's coming from a living source and it's moving, and you want something like that. So anything done with the machines, like when people say they have them in their houses, is cool because, I mean, it's better than your tap. But to ingest it, I just wouldn't suggest it because, again, you're just going to reject it.
This dude is really an artist. Every line I'm hearing, I wouldn't suggest it to ingest it.
Become natural.
It's
For
got
sure.
something, living source, man.
It's in the water.
Does this have, all right, do you just put the water from the spring to the bottle? Does it have to get purified? Like, is there a process that the FDA requires to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do the basic FDA filtrations and all of that. But we definitely keep it to a minimum because the water is naturally, like, you can drink it right out of the spring, but we do go through the processing for the legalities and the corporate lanes that we push into as well. So.
Yeah.
And of course, you got your people that are what they call themselves water snobs and things like that. So to make sure, you know, it's good for everybody, because you got some people that want to take it home and test it themselves. I encourage it. I just want you to record it and send me that, you know, at the same time. So, yeah, do that. But we do that especially for that.
Yeah, the first thing we started the episode by saying was it'd be the glass. So talk about the importance of having this in the glass. I know we grew up, it was like there's other water brands that came in those water bottles and you recycle those water bottles, but water surely shouldn't be kept in plastic.
Yeah.
Talk about the importance.
Man, we grew up drinking out the hose and sink. Let's be real. Let's be honest. What we talking
Sure.
about?
I just want to make sure we're from the same generation. Yes.
Hose
for
water,
sure.
some of the best water we had. What you mean?
But when you get to those plastics, so think about all right, so there's the BPA-free plastic, right? You know what I mean? Where it's not as soft. If you can crush your plastic, if you can just get that thing in your hand and crush it like that, it ain't no good for you. Because for one, you got the microfibers that's going to be in your water. Two, as the sun is penetrating that thing, the plastic is also going to be able to begin to melt into your water. So that's why you have that different type of taste. We do also bottle in plastic, but it's BPA free, you know, which is a more cost affordable option, you know, for some of our audience. And glass is the way though, you know what I mean? Because you don't have those fibers, you know, and there's other ways, like we do also have like a can option as well. Some people prefer like copper, you know, as well for the energetic and magnetic feel of it. But glass is really the way to go because you don't have those fibers being bled into your water. Now you do have to, you know, be specific with your glass too, because, you know, there's the lead, you know, thing, which I've just began to like get knowledge on as well. But always suggesting the glass, especially for a living water source, so you can keep that liveness into it.
And I would say as well, even with the plastic, it's freshly bottled weekly. So like a lot of the other bigger corporations, it might be sitting in a warehouse for 3, 4, 5, 6 months breaking down. So ours is freshly bottled. It's not sitting.
So what's some challenges as far as being like an independent water brand as opposed to most waters is owned by like 3 companies, right? Like, and they kind of have a monopoly on it. So being independent, what's some of the challenges that you face?
I think one of the challenges that I can think of off top is let's say some of these other companies who are billion-dollar companies, they getting their bottles in mass quantities. So the cost of the bottles is cheaper. So we're not getting them in those quantities. So we are paying a different, you know, price and working our way into being able to get it in such a mass way that we are also able to bring the price down even for the customer. You know, because while the idea is to make money, it isn't to charge astronomical numbers and things of that nature, right? So that's really one of the challenges at this moment, which is becoming a good challenge because we are continuing to increase. You know, so it's like, all right, we need 2,000 bottles. We got to figure out how we're going to get that 2,000 bottles quick and in mass, but that was good to be able to call on community, you know, with that as well. But that's one of the challenges that I think of right off top.
What's the most cost intensive part, right? If we have the water, which is natural, is it the bottling? Is it the trying to manufacture and export?
It balances out between the actual bottles, the labor force, and transportation. So initially at first, we was trying to go everywhere. We trying to be, you know, worldwide, nationwide. But the more we learned, the more it was like, no, we need to hone in on our backyard right here. And I'm doing certain numbers, like, I think it was like a study in 2019 said Americans spend an average of $10 per month on bottled water. And then I'm doing my, you know, looking up the census numbers and whatnot. And I'm seeing right here in the county we in, not even the state, the county we in, it's over 1 million people. Just black people, it's over 200,000. So I'm like, $10 per month, that's $2 million monthly right in this county. It's 1 million of us in the state. That's $10 million monthly that we just as a community value to the water company, the water industry. So at that point, it was like, rather than spending time and energy that we go in other places, let's double down right here. You know, so we heavily concentrated on North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, surrounding areas, Florida, and Virginia and DC. So basically the Southeast America, instead of trying to be everywhere. We just trying to hone in on our backyard.
With him saying that, it makes me think of another one of our challenges, which is shipping. So we good in our area, but after something like this today or at the other places we've been, you're going to have people in Cali, Portland, Maine, and that shipping cost because, I mean, it's 34 pounds per case, you know, of the water. So to send that to Cali, you know, that's $50 in shipping if they want to pay it. You know, now, of course, we want to be able to, you know, get it to everybody, but just trying to figure out that, you know, in the same way that one of these other companies like Amazon has a warehouse in these other places and figuring out how to warehouse in these other places so that we can set up distributors that can handle shipping and things like that in these other places. But it's a challenge, but it's still one of those good challenges of like, all right, they want it out there. We really need to figure out how to get it out there at a cost-efficient price.
Yes, you said the logistics. That makes a lot of sense. I was thinking when you talked about this is a living product, right? Obviously, is there a life expectancy of how long the spring will be running? Or because I know we've had a water episode before, and they were trying to how long that they expected that spring to be live and functioning. Is there a study on that one for y'all?
So generally, we know it's like 4 major water veins that flow into this spring. So to be honest, like the whole state will probably be at a state of emergency for water before we would be, you know.
Oh, okay.
Because as long as it's raining, it would have to be a serious Sahara desert drought or something like that. But long as it's raining, it's constant flow of this natural system that's refueling itself.
But it's coming from what, like 800 feet on the ground? They did the sonic testing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'd have to drain the earth.
Yeah, it's on the foothills of the mountains of Western North Carolina. So it's like a lot of water is being concentrated to where
Perfect. That's perfect.
So how did the owner originally acquire the land?
So I mean, it's so far back we don't even really know, but it was an indigenous family there. So they literally got
Nobody ever took it? Like
So he said it was originally like 6,000 acres that they were occupying. And it's down to some few hundred or 1,000 or something, you know. So yeah, it has been different chunks being taken out, you know, but at this point it's been this 1,000 that's been maintained. And there's been generations that it went dormant, but he came back, rebirthed the life into it. But yeah, at this point, this corner that we maintaining now, they've had far back as they know, you know, over 400 years.
Yeah. So one of the things with logistics is you got to get partnerships. So you're the first Black-owned water company to be inside of Walmart. How did this relationship come about? How did y'all foster that? How are y'all maintaining that?
So that was right before we connected with the actual land and the CEO running it. But he said his actual goal was to use that as a launching pad for validation for certain people and for that promo. But he kept it limited to a few in Florida because his real goal was to keep it grassroots and deal directly with the people, you know. So we are real big on the direct to consumer. Although we do deals and partnerships with stores and different businesses, but just for example, in the lane we in and what we're doing with it, we wouldn't even be needed if he went nationwide with Walmart. It would have just been him and Walmart making all the money. So
True.
salute to him. But yeah, he's created a blessing of a lane for a lot of young entrepreneurs, movers and shakers to be able to find our space in this.
And you find that, you know, sometimes our people need that validity. So even though, you know, we not in the Walmart anymore because of whatever type of clauses they had contractually, it's like you say that to somebody, like let's say we've been somewhere and you say the first Black-owned water company to enter a Walmart and they like, huh?
Well,
and they stop right there. So sometimes you can still use that, you know, and then, you know, they get the rest of the story and everything from there.
What's the process to actually make the water? Like how many people have to be employed? Is it like is there's a plant like from the spring to the bottle? What's the process?
So it's like a big water tank truck will come to the land, plug up to the system.
How often?
Well, they come, so it's a few different lanes of distribution. So on a mass scale, that's probably once a week, once every other week. And it's like 6,000 gallons worth that'll, you know, come plug up and take it to the plant. And then they making all type of other stuff with it, drinks, juices. We got a protein tea drink that we just released.
Sparkling water with different flavors, blood, orange, pineapple, ginger, cucumber, mint, and limonada.
Right, and then there's other companies that white label because we got the source. So you can put whatever name on it, you know, so y'all out there, you know, let's partner up, you feel me?
Sure.
But nonetheless, so they got few people on the grounds at the factory that receive the water once it comes in, they plug it up to the factory, run the bottles through the system. So I don't know exactly. It's a few people in there, but being that it's mainly machines, you just got a few people doing a mass production and stacking up the boxes on pallets and things of that nature. Then we got the smaller operation on the land where we directly bottling on the land. And that's a little more labor intensive because what equals the machinery at the factory, we got to equal in manpower on the land when we doing our smaller scale thing. So I actually started a young entrepreneurs in training program, and I got 3 young brothers that been a monumental help that's been helping us label, package, like them 2,000 bottles we had to bring down there. We had about 4 days to label by hand 2,000 bottles, bottle this joint up.
Oh, cause we did a special label to earn your.
Yeah. We did the Invest Fest labels on them and all of that. So we had to do that by hand. But yeah, that was a grind. We called in everybody. Just on that order alone, we probably had a good 8 to 10 people on. Labeling, bottling, package, storing, and 4 of us ran the booth all weekend.
As y'all have, I mean, obviously turned up for the brand.
For sure.
Has your role inside the brand changed? It feels like you started out as like, hey, here's how I can add value, almost on like an internship basis. But now it feels like y'all, what is the exact role that y'all have now since y'all done turned this thing up?
Yeah, so again, another situation of us just lending our love and labor without really asking for, all right, what we gonna get? All right, we know we doing the sales and we get our price point for the wholesale price and we get our profit off the sale. But we doing more than just selling. We promoting, we ambassadoring, we doing a lot. So he actually gave us some stake in the company. You know, so that was a beautiful blessing, which gave us more motivation to go even that much further and harder, you know, so.
The equity play.
Yeah, but even with that, it's anything we want to do. So we host festivals and retreats and everything on the property. So it's not a matter of overhead. It's we are in full control of that, as long as we just kick something back to the land, which we have a percentage that we discussed. But I tell people all the time, like, people waiting for God to come down with this magical voice and be like, now is your time to do this. I'm like, nah, sometimes he's speaking opportunity. So it was the opportunity with the water, and now it's a whole nother opportunity with the land altogether, from the festivals that we host to the farmers market now that we have open, because it's not just the water, it's cucumbers, mushrooms, collard greens, kale, carrots, beets. So it started with the water and it bloomed into everything that the water actually helps produce, so it's bigger than water.
How much is the water?
The glass bottles are $4. You're doing by the case for $40. Our plastic bottles are $3 each. We do a case of 24 for $45. Or on subscription, we do it for $40, and we ship and deliver all over the country. We also do gallons as well. So the gallons are $7 each, or 4 for $20.
The gallons come in plastic?
They come in plastic. And we working on that glass. We need more people that need it in glass. Because that's a whole different type of logistical thing. And then we do the 5-gallon containers as well. And we have a special right now called We Are the Gold, which is something we started. What was that, about 10? Yeah, where we had David Banner host that experience, and I was doing something with Miss Black America. But the We Are the Gold special is $20 for the 5-gallon container. And we bring it right to your doorstep. Currently, we only really doing that in the Southeast area because we drop off your new one and then replace your old one. And so it'll be hard for us to do that in Minnesota or Cali, until we got that infrastructure set up, which is the future. That's part of our plan, moving forward. But that We Are the Gold special is being kicked off.
What's the subscription?
Just go to the website, $20 monthly.
$20 a month?
$20 a month for that 5-gallon. Now $40 for the case of the 24 pack, and we ship and deliver that. For the 5-gallon containers, either 25 or 20 on subscription for the We Are the Gold special.
Yep, you go to heavyenergyuniversity.com/live-alkaline, or you can go to our Instagram at LiveAlkalineNC. Go to the link in bio.
They said that the bottling water business is a $300 billion business.
We have
300 growing every year.
Billion.
Every year it's growing.
It might feel like it's a surprise to people, but it makes a lot of sense when you talk about these major corporations that do the bottling. I wonder, is the selling of the water as profitable or equally as profitable as potentially white labeling for other people in bottling? Like how does that vary?
Right now, because we don't do a lot of white labeling, at this second. I think, but white labeling is on the way, and we encourage it because we're not in competition with whoever else got water. All these other companies are literally right beside each other. We the source. So come bottle your water. If you got a company somewhere, come bottle it and put your name on it, slap your name on it, bottle it in whatever bottle you want to, come holler at the plug. So yeah, right now our most profit is definitely coming from the bottling, ourselves. But if you want your own water,
See what I just did there?
holla at
You
us.
see what I just did there?
We need that.
It's trained professional.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you throw the oop, we got to dunk it from there.
Yeah, facts. So the sky's the limit. We looking for big contracts. We can fulfill any level, all levels. We do thousands of gallons in a day.
So they say like it's a water crisis, scarcity in the world, and then some people say that that's not true. It's just that how it's being monopolized by corporations is causing scarcity of water. What's your thoughts on this whole water scarcity crisis
I
thing?
think it's definitely a matter of, the monopoly of it, right? And if you fear always makes people move in emotional ways, right? So if you talk about it's a water crisis, now you just got random people going out and buying as much water as they can possibly stock. And it's like, oh yeah, if it's a water crisis, then what is that going to do? Because you're going to run out of that, but they just forcing people to buy more water at one time, which they can then use that and flip that money and do whatever they're going to do with it. I ain't going to say that I don't believe that there's not some sort of crisis, because we always have the dumping of trash in the water and oil and things of that nature as well.
So talk about that. Like, how does that impact? Because that's a big thing, the pollution of our waterways, from oceans to rivers to lakes. There's a lot of pollution.
Or even your Flint, Michigan, like situations, right? So we had a situation back home where, it's happening in East Greensboro. It's happening all over the country. So one of our partners, we had a situation where we were going to neighborhoods and literally giving the water away, and making sure people were getting supplied, with the water as well. That increased some of our sales in another way, because other people were donating to the cause, so they were essentially paying for the water and then ordering water for themselves, at the same time. So we didn't use that as a sales tactic, but we recognized that as we were giving it away, people were also wanting to support, because sometimes people all want to be a part of something. It's why they tithe in church, right? They want to feel good about where their money going, and it's cool. This is a place to do that. But as those things are beginning to happen for us, it's a matter of how do we attack that on our end? How do we make sure that people are getting, water as well? But also in the same way that people are like, every 5 cents of the water that you buy goes towards this cause. It's a similar situation. We haven't pushed it like that, but it's letting people know, as you buy and as you increase, we are still supplying and giving away water to places where people need the water. So it's really a way to be able to utilize that, unfortunately, but it's there.
Y'all have, this is groundbreaking, and it seems like the information is just ready and available. I know people come to y'all for the water, but do people come to y'all for the education part as well? Because
absolutely,
there's plenty of, I'm sure, natural springs throughout the country. People don't really understand how to tap into that and make that something that could be a business or profitable. How many people are coming to y'all for the education component of it?
Let me say, the funny thing is, when I said I first made that connection and I took 2 months to study, that was during the pandemic, on the back of the George Floyd situation and the Black Lives Matter and all that in 2020. And I took them 2 months to study. And by the time I jumped off, the only question was how much? To the point I'm like, I did all this studying. I wanted some more questions at that point. But furthermore, the further we got along, especially certain spaces and demographics may inquire and have more questions. But some people come with the curiosity, and then you got the people that come just to support because they love our mission and movement. So I got this one lady in particular. She came look, I despise drinking water. I don't drink water. I'm going to just buy something to support. That became one of our best customers that was like, yo, where y'all at? I need my water. And next thing you know, she's telling us about how she's feeling better, and she had some kidney issues, and she was saying the doctor was telling her, whatever you doing different, keep doing it. So you got some people who are directly inquiring for the knowledge. Then you got some people that just stumble into the knowledge because we make them a believer, So, but yeah, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah. No. People, so because there are other springs where people are like, well, we can go to the water, go there and just get the water. What make it different? And I just I don't know about that other space. I just let them know and educate them deeply about our water. But there are other people that have land that are like, all right, well, how do I go find a spring on my land, or I have a spring? You know, how do we, you know, go about doing that? So because we are in this lane, I do get a lot of those different type of questions of people that have land and like, well, how do I discover water? I'm like, dig. I mean, that's what I got.
So what's the plan to scale?
So in my mind, the next immediate thing, we just drill down like our main concentrated areas. So we got like 8 different areas that we want to build hubs at. So locking in our storage and warehousing and locking in our distribution team around that, and then upping the ante on the promotion. So we got a goal in our Bigger Than Water campaign to get 5,000 monthly subscribers, spending $20 monthly for our $1 million plan. You know, but ultimately, we're going to be approaching hotels, grocery stores, all of that. But I'm really trying to crack the code on this direct-to-consumer model and really locking in our 5,000 loyal subscribers, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and you mentioned it as well. It's bigger than water. I think you kind of mentioned it in different ways. Like you said, it was a campaign, but yours just more felt like this is more than just a water company. This is more of like a lifestyle. I heard a little bit about agriculture as well. Talk to both of y'all really what the phrase means and what the purpose behind it.
Yeah, well, because sometimes people look at when they like it's just water, all water tastes the same. We like, nah, it's bigger than water. This is about a lifestyle. This is bigger than the taste. This is about what you putting in your body, you know, and how it's going to affect your body. So what those other waters got going on is not what this has going on. So it's bigger than water. This is, you don't put the same type of gas in this car that you put in this type of car. You a premium car, ain't you? So you better put premium water in your body. But we also, like you said, we on a crystal mineral-based body of land. So the minerals in the water is 100% natural, pH balance naturally. But think about what's happening with the crops that are also grown on that same land that water is coming from. So it's bigger than water, which is why we have a situation called the bigger than a farmer's market, because it ain't just a farmer's market. You're going to come there and get your mushrooms. You could pick out your collard greens. You're going to see other type of vendors, but it's also going to be workshops there. We have a huge fire pit where we do a situation called Fire for Therapy, where people come do poetry, share stories and things like that. But the water bring them there. It's bigger than water. We also have a festival that we do called the Alkaline Festival. It's 3 days and 2 nights of live music, yoga, meditation, camping, bonfire, food trucks, vendors, and more. But it all started with the water. It's bigger than water, you know, so people come there for that and they get an entirely different holistic experience. And all of the inspirational messages and things that we've heard from people that have come and experienced that, because we built showers out there because people are going to be there for 3 days and 2 nights. So people need to wash, but they are showering in the alkaline water as well. So they're not just drinking it, they showering in it. It's bigger than water. Your skin is your most exposed organ. So what are you putting on your skin as well? It's bigger. So people are starting to really understand, you know, what we say when we say that. It ain't just a water company. It started there. That was the seed, but the harvest is much more grand than that. You have the food. You have a space where you can come and release. You know, you have the festivals and things, but it all started with the water.
Facts. And I'll just add to that we got this summer program that we do, a STEAM program where we get the kids out, they learn about agriculture, we building the garden boxes, doing entrepreneurship, arts, financial literacy, and just all things survival skills based, you know, so learning how to operate this land where we can put ourselves in a position to be independent and self-sufficient in real life. And then, so the youth and the education is the major thing because we're literally building community. So the foundation of where we started with Soul Academy is really coming to life, where we got a community for these kids to dwell in, like to be running through this land free. Man, they don't be knowing where their iPads and phones are at on this land because it's just endless acreage that they can just run with limitless boundaries. You feel me? And then the last thing I'll say in reference to that, the more we push and move the water, we'll come back to the land. It's 15 fruit trees that we need to plant. It's a new machinery that we got to activate some more of this land. Like we can actually see where the fruit of our labor is going. And it ain't just for the CEO to put in his pocket and do him. Like, he literally protecting this land. He denying $100 million deals, hundreds of $1 million deals to buy this land. And we see him putting this land in places and spaces that's going to feed not just him. Like, he going to be able to enjoy some of these fruit trees, but these fruit trees going to live long past his lifetime, you know? So I see he's actually reinvesting the money into the community. You feel me? And ultimately, we don't know what none of these other corporations doing. They probably doing the same thing with their family compound, but we ain't never going to be at their family compound, though. You feel me?
Facts.
But y'all can come to ours, though.
Right.
I want to thank you guys for coming, man. Tell them the website,
For sure.
Instagram, all of that.
Man, well, first off, again, I want to salute y'all. Official salute. Appreciate y'all. Y'all been diligent, locking in, pushing this financial literacy, bringing all type of products and services and resources and information to the people for years on end. You know, I was just telling Rashad about a message I stumbled into. I wasn't even looking for it. I was searching in my Instagram messages the other day, and I seen a message I hit him in like 2018. Just to say salute, y'all doing y'all thing off the beginning, you feel me? But yeah, I'm just honored to be here and get the people the access to the resource. So you can follow us on Instagram at LiveAlkalineNC. You can go to the link in bio to order, or you can go to heavyenergyuniversity.com and go to the Live Alkaline tab, or you can do heavyenergyuniversity.com/live-alkaline.
Man, we appreciate you. I just thought about that, man. I gotta have an alkaline shower.
Nah,
I never had that before.
For sure.
Facts.
For sure.
Let us be y'all supplier, you know.
There you go.
For we know we're gonna have that invest fast, earn your leisure water, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know?
That's a fact.
Sounds like
Come on.
a plan.
Plug, really, I'm the plug.
Powered by Live. Let's get it.
All right.
Appreciate
Thank you guys for rocking with us. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.